All right.
Hasten112 donated $100. Let's go.
Yeah, that's my friend. Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm Kirthar. I'll be running Blazing Chrome for you. I'll let my couch introduce themselves.
Polo, you first.
Sure. Well, guys, hi, I'm Polo. And that's it. I played this game also. I know, crazy.
And I am the irrepressible, annoying Jimmy Diamond, also play this game, various other games. I think Kirthar's really selling himself short there, because not only is this Kirthar from Sweden running Blazing Chrome today, it is world record of this category holder, Kirthar, running Blazing Chrome today. How about that then? How about that then? Taking that world record literally a few days ago, beautifully done. Literally the fastest time this game has ever been completed in any of its modes. Kirthar is the main man to do that. What an absolute legend. If you can give him a round of applause, I recommend giving him a round of applause right now. And if you're not, then I feel sorry for you. But here we go. We are... Hey, I hear a round of applause. That's amazing. So, of course, this is Blazing Chrome. This is a game released a couple of years ago. This is a love letter to the Contra series, to Run and Guns, to Metal Slugs. It is as if Konami actually cared about Contra going forward into the future. Yeah, I said it. Deal with it. It's a stunningly great game. It's a really tough game if you don't know what you're doing. But fortunately, Kirthar, given he's a man, he's a legend, he is an incredible player of this game. He knows exactly what's going to happen. It's pretty much all deterministic. So, Kirthar, I'll let you set up the bits and pieces that you need to start the run. And we'll go from there.
I also think that we had a Twitch poll for the character selection.
Twitch poll.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just... I'll just go with Mara in that case. That's fine. But yeah, this is Blazing Chrome. It's kind of like, as you can see, it's kind of a Contra-like game. Taking a lot of inspiration from the old school run and gun shooters. And it's pretty hard, like it's basically everything is a one-hit kill. And I'm gonna actually donate $5 for every death. So just so you know, the stakes for this run.
I am going to be keeping track of that one, just so you make sure that you can kind of donate even more money where possible.
Alright. Well, we get ready for the countdown here. It's gonna be, we're gonna start at about when the screen goes to black, shortly after I'm selecting the mission here. So yeah, I'll try to count down here. 3, 2, 1, go.
Go, 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 Kirthar. Good luck. We normally time this game with the in-game timer because it doesn't take into account loads and between stages as well, so it just gives you a little bit more leeway. But this is Blazing Chrome. As you can see, Kirthar's character, Mavra, is a gun character. She shoots weapons. You can collect 4 different weapons in the game. She can also roll on the floor. Basically, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog game. All games are Sonic the Hedgehog. So you've seen that Kirthar picked up a shield there. So the shield allows you to take 2 additional hits, but normally you can only take 1 hit and then you die. And that's really, really important because if you are carrying one of the second, the third, or the 4th weapon, and you take damage and you die, you lose that weapon. And we want to try and keep hold of the weapon that Kirthar currently has, the pulse laser, for as long as we feasibly can, because this is an overpowered weapon. So there's going to be a pretty steady rhythm of mashing that Kirthar's going to do with the pulse rifle to get the most output of damage in the game. It's going to be basically that through the majority of it, with a couple of exceptions of a couple of the other weapons that we will see as we're going forward. We are at the first mini-boss of the game, dodging and rolling through it. When you are rolling, you are going to get a couple of moments worth of iframes. That boss is down, didn't even break a sweat, and now we're going to be hopefully going for mech skip. Polo, do you want to talk about what mech skip normally entails?
Oh, well, normally, by design, they want you to jump in this lovely little mech that we're going to see right here, but we're just going to not do that. We're just going to run right on by, and we're going to go real fast through all these giant, just gross amount of enemies. Which this took quite a long time for us to route and figure out, how to get done.
Done
we
it
did it
perfectly.
Very clean.
That deserves a round of applause.
I know, I'm clapping.
Good stuff. So yeah, so we see the real power of the pulse rifle during that section there, because the pulse rifle goes through the environment, so we can take out multiple enemies at once. It's the only weapon that does so, with the exception of a whip, which we'll see a little bit later. That boss is pretty much painless as long as you are keeping your mashing ability to a nice steady cadence instead of just mashing as fast as you can. If you mash as fast as you can, it actually misses inputs, which isn't good. We're now on the first main boss of the game, of Mission 1. So it's relatively linear up to this point. So we're just going to be aiming for the head, waiting until it goes into a stun mode, hitting the center core, and repeat ad infinitum, just avoiding certain attacks, making sure that the positioning of your character, just so that you are taking as little movement as possible. Oh, that was very close there, Kirth. Good gracious. Taking as little movement as possible while still outputting as much damage as possible. And then he's taking the death there, and you'll notice that he has lost access to that pulse rifle. So it's actually going to be a much, much slower way of defeating the boss now. So he's going to need to find a backup pulse rifle, because weapons actually go over between the stages, as do the things like the shields that you saw picked up. We've also not talked about the speed bot. 239 is pretty good for that one, especially with losing the pulse rifle towards the end there. That's really, really good. Let's get a round of applause in for the Kirthar. What a great stuff. But yeah, so with the speed bot that you saw him pick up a little bit earlier, that grants a couple of different things. At first, it grants a double jump. Double jumps are really, really useful, because weirdly enough, you can jump, and then, breaking the laws of physics, you can jump again. It's magical. What? But it also speeds you up significantly faster than your normal running speeds, which of course changes how things, how the speedrun goes. If you want to go fast, we're speedrunners, as the phrase normally goes. He's picked up another speed bot there. He just needs to now find himself a way of getting hold of a pulse rifle. He's picked up the whip there, which we will see at some point. You're going to pick up the grenades here too. Please make sure you pick up the grenades. They're quite useful. If you don't have the pulse rifle, the grenade is probably the second most useful weapon to have, because they do area of effect damage, and they've got relatively high damage output as well, but not quite as much as the pulse rifle. They're just throwing that grenade. Lovely stuff. And we're going to hopefully see here. Picking up the speed bot, and he wants that pulse rifle. He gets a pulse rifle. Lovely stuff. He's got to be really careful here, though. Good gracious, Kirthar, don't you do this to my heart.
Don't worry,
there we go. Really well done there. Good backups there. Knowing exactly what was going to happen when those type of mistakes can happen is incredibly useful for this game. We're now on Zet. Now, Zet is a bit of a pain in the bum, because he likes jumping around the screen. However, you can manipulate his abilities and his AI.
What are you doing? Oh my god.
Oh!
Wow, that was crazy.
Normally,
he just does what he wants sometimes, huh?
Yeah, that was weird.
Normally, you can manipulate him. Thank you very much. Getting that slapping at the end. Normally, you can manipulate him so that he'll only stand and shoot towards you, and all of his attacks would miss. But quite want to play ball there, which is lovely. And again, using that rolling ability of Sonic the Hedgehog to go through some enemies with the little bit of iframes. He's now picked up a shield and replaced his speed bot. Seems like it's a bit counterintuitive, changing the things that make you go fast. Oh no, he's going to use this to ensure that he can damage boost through this boss's attacks like that. And now that boss is done. He's going to pick up a speed bot in a few seconds' time. There we go. And now he's going to do some nice big jumps and get a bit further ahead on the screen, and hopefully not take damage. Oh my word! That was Pixels, Kirth.
Yeah,
we're just living life on the wild side here. That's all. Just playing crazy.
This boss is quite easy manipulable. Aim down, mash rhythmically, and the boss is dead. That's all you got to do. Aim down, mash, and the boss is dead. And now we're on the probably the most amazing visual section of this game, where everything is done with sprites and scaling. There's no 3D in this bit whatsoever. Looks fantastic.
The weirdest part about it is that there's only one of these segments in the entire game, so it's essentially, like they had to, basically make an entire different type of game just for this one part of this one level. Never return to it. It's just the one. They just wanted to make something really cool, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and it's really well done. What Kirthar's probably going to be trying to do here is trying to get his aiming reticule smack in the middle of the screen so that he can kind of lock the aim, and then just keep shooting towards the distance. Now, the enemies in this game, in this section anyways, their hitbox increases as they get close to the screen. However, the damage boxes of your weapons that you're firing out, they stay exactly the same size as they're going towards the center of the screen. So what that means is that if there's any enemies coming towards you, it doesn't matter, because they're coming from the very middle of the screen. You're aiming at the middle of the screen with these giant hitboxes of your weapons, and you're killing them before they can even make any attempt at your life. So it looks like Kirthar's got himself a little bit of a backup there, just to get right in the center of the screen on the second time of trying, and it's looking really, really good so far. Really good.
It is common knowledge that as bullets get farther away, they get bigger. Mm-hmm. That's just how it works.
Oh, again, physics.
It's
like a double jump, it's exactly how physics work. So yeah, he's just got to be careful with some of these enemies coming through here. It's going to be just moving around these little bits of lightning bolts, just make sure that he isn't going to be taking any damage. You notice that he's actually got a couple of extra weapons in the top left corner of the screen. So in this one, he has a couple of additional bullets. He also has homing missiles as well, which shoot out every now and again, which is quite useful for some of these enemies because they like moving around a lot, but it also comes in very useful for the boss of this section as well, because the boss, again, does like moving around a lot. We want to make sure that he can hit him as many times as possible without having any faff. And that's a good word to use in this day and age, faff. It means faff. Check a dictionary. It's worth it. Kirthar, how are you feeling so far with the run?
Pretty good. Just one death so far. So
yeah.
See,
right. It's really weird because you say just one death so far, but technically I want you to die more in the game because then you just have to donate even more money to these good causes. But also, it's slow. So it's a balancing act, you know? It's a balancing act. Here we go. We're going for the boss of Mission 4, even though it's the second mission that we're in. Don't ask. I didn't make the game. So you're going to hopefully get that bit on the left-hand side destroyed, get the bit on the right-hand side destroyed. Hopefully Destructo Disc will not fire out. We'll see how that works out. Should be okay. Just got to make sure he's moving around, avoiding taking damage. Are we going to see Destructo Disc? Oh, Destructo Disc. That's a shame. That's a shame. A little bit of Dragon Ball Z there for you. Came out, but fortunately it didn't cause any further damage. Getting through the end of that stage really, really well. 720. Pretty good so far. Pretty good so far. Which mission are you moving on to next, Kirthar?
Oh, Mission 3. It's a scary one, but yeah, we'll see.
You've got it.
See how it goes. I'm confident.
Yeah, Mission 3 is probably the scariest one of the game, mainly because of, well, one thing, the dogs. We'll see the dogs in a moment. Ugh, they are grim. It's also quite awkward when it comes to the weapon selection as well, because you want to try and keep that pulse rifle for as long as possible. Realistically, you don't want to lose a pulse rifle, but this stage has a lot of different ways that you can lose a pulse rifle without being able to get it back in a quick manner as well. So it's pretty scary, and they've got these big guns that you're going to be on the screen in a minute.
One thing I want to mention for the mashing in this game is that because you have to mash rhythmically, because if you mash at full speed, then it's then you're gonna miss those shots because you have to let it go on the first frame. So the fastest way to do it is to if you mash at the right rhythm, you'll hit it on the first frame and you'll be able to pump those shots out.
And now we've got two of these wiggly worms picking up the defense spot. Just save himself a hassle there, which is good. It's going to be a little bit slower here on the cycles just because he's missed a few things there.
Oh my god.
Whoa, my word!
Worm RNG wasn't kind, but you made it work. You made it work.
That hurts. Okay, so now we've got a small auto-scroller here, which you can actually speed up by killing the enemies as fast as you can. So the enemy positioning in this game is all predetermined. So Kirthar is anticipating a lot of these enemy positionings, which is nice and easy. There's a second mechanic of the pulse rifle that we haven't really seen up until this point, which is you can hold it and charge it, which is quite useful when you're trying to kill multiple enemies in the space of a very short amount of time. We've now got a big spider. If you've got any spider remotes, please get them in the chat, because we now are at a spider rave, not a crab rave, a spider rave. So Kirthar's going to be positioning very, very carefully underneath the spider's head, so that he is going to be hitting the spider's head with his bullets and nothing else. There we go. Spider comes down. Not the quickest that can get killed, but pretty good. Didn't take any damage, didn't take any issues with changing the weapons. And now we're on to the dog tunnel. Polo, do you want to talk about the dog tunnel?
Oh, well, the dog tunnel is, well, we've got these lovely dogs. They'll crawl around, they'll just chase after you, and they'll just keep coming, and they don't leave you alone, and they'll just jump however they feel, however they want, and they are the bane of all Blazing Chrome runners.
Oh, my word. So you said don't worry.
Kirthar making it look easy here.
I'm having a coronary here. Thank you very much. These dogs are awful. They are
beautiful.
Bane of my existence, but you have just made that look so easy. I hate you. I hate you.
Easily one of the hardest segments of the entire game, for sure.
Yeah. Especially the first part, like, you don't have to do that. You only save like 1 second by not killing dogs, but you gotta show it off.
And now this section, there's a little bit of randomness of which of the holes that the kind of weird protruding thing comes out of. So it's very well telegraphed, excuse me, not choreographed. That's a completely different word. Very well telegraphed. So it's just and trying to be very conscious of the surroundings of the entire screen instead of just kind of centering on what you're trying to shoot. And now we're going to be seeing the final boss of Mission 3, where we're going to be hopefully doing something rather lewd. There we go. We are waggling our whip. There we go, waggling our whip. So the whip actually causes damage on every frame that it's on an enemy hitbox. So the enemy hitbox there is its face.
Beautiful.
You hold the whip so it covers the enemy's face with the whip for the entirety that it's on the screen, and it dies very quickly. That's the fastest I've seen that boss killed for a very, very long time. Really good so far.
That's a very fast stage 3. That was awesome.
Very, very good. Yeah, even with the minor issue with the vertical worms and killing off their chunks a little bit earlier.
We can't tell the worms what to do. We can only ask for their kindness.
Mm-hmm. And now we have a big old auto-scroller. Once again, the enemy positions on this auto-scroller are they're predetermined. So Kirthar is going to be anticipating exactly where they are and kind of shooting them before they appear on the screen, just so we can destroy them nice and quickly.
We like to call these auto-scrollers, but they're really not auto-scrollers, because the faster you kill the enemies, the faster it's gonna go. At least there's certain enemies that'll trigger other enemies to spawn, so you have to kill those ones as quick as you can. As quick as they spawn on screen, you want to get rid of them, and then the next wave is going to come quicker.
Yeah, you can take these guys out with a whip too, outside the screen, which is a little bit of time save, but we'll take what we can get.
Indeed. Because this game is now down to basically the most that can be saved out of all time saved is about 8 seconds in total to get it to barely underneath the 21-minute run. It's 21-minute in-game time run, excuse me. You are fighting for these little bits of time saved now, and it's very, very optimized and very, very intense. Because one small mistake is essentially world record run lost, which is why it's really good to see it at a marathon. Again, even though it's been a number of marathons, it's great to see it one because it shows strats that you wouldn't normally see in the main world record race speedruns, and it's just fantastic to watch. Fantastic to watch.
Anonymous donated $10. Let's go 83KY.
Nice.
So
yeah, so this is just essentially Kirthar knowing exactly where things are spawning and shooting them. He's picked up the damage bot here so he can do, weirdly enough, damage boosts. So he's going to try and get to the far right of the screen in a few seconds' time. This just saves a few moments to allow him to transition on to the next screen as soon as the boss is dead, instead of waiting for your character to scroll itself.
I didn't even know you could do that. That was actually really cool. Oh, yeah, I learned a new thing.
I can't remember if that was you who found that, Kirth, or if that was Sooty
I can't remember.
Either way, it's one of you nuts. Sooty is the other premier speedrunner of this game. Sooty just seems to be able to tear this game apart at any moment. Has a world record in the hardcore mode of the 21 minutes and 8 seconds actually as well. So he's a joint fastest alongside Kirthar in getting this game completed. The boy is just ridiculously good at this game. Great jump.
And who else has a world record on hardcore?
Oh, is that you, Polo? Is that you?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
It's me.
Yeah, of course it's you. Of course it's you. Yeah, so there's a couple of different categories that this game can have. Just whilst we are fighting the eyeball ball, just waiting until it fires out its eyeballs before you can attack it. So it does 3 times, jumping over that ball. Very well done. Is that there are 2 different character types. There are gun characters, well, as Kirthar is running as at the moment. But there's also a ninja character, so it turns the game to more of a Ninja Gaiden-esque, Shinobi-esque version of the game. It's a completely different game, with the exception of the stages, because the characters control so different. They don't have any additional weapons. They're solely based on melee attacks, so you have to be a lot closer, though they can't take the advantage of...
I hate that guy.
Can't take the advantage
can't
of
take advantage of the sweet laser beams, but you do get to dash. You get a nice charge shot, a little Mega Man-esque with your charge attacks. So it's pretty fun. It's great because 2 entirely different categories, and they are just so far apart. So there's a lot of different options when it comes to speedrunning this game between the 2 categories.
Cool. Now Kirthar's going to be trying to keep he's kind of trying to keep this last bit of the shield for the next boss. The next boss is probably the most difficult one casually, but if he's doing it during the speed run, it becomes a bit of a cinch as long as you have this defense box, because you can just stand in place, shoot its core, and it will blow up very, very quickly. Did a really good job there of taking out that boss. Again, seeing the power of the pulse rifle just chewing through these enemies is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Going to go shoot at the core. So what makes this boss difficult is those kind of beams that are shooting onto the floor that then spread across the floor. But that was effortless, probably the best that could be.
So quick, yeah.
Really good.
We used to, try to measure that, we'd want to get the 1 cycle on it, and now it doesn't even get close to the attacks where it burns time. It just melts them.
Fantastic stuff. And it has been noted in the chat, but given that we have now raised $150,000 for ESA, Edenall is going to shave his head.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to shave his head. Seems like a really silly choice, because boy has a beautiful, flowing, luscious head of hair, where he's going to shave his head. Amazing stuff. Just amazing.
It's warm out. It's the right call, probably.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, having a lovely big heat wave here in Europe over the last week or so, having those, extra trims is quite useful. So Kirthar is now on mission 5. So previously, the last 4 missions can be done in any order that they want to be done in by the runner, but missions 5 and mission 6 are set in stone, so they have to be done in order. And this is essentially the Battletoads section, where you are going to be jumping over pits, jumping over spikes, and avoiding enemies and destroying things as well. There's also going to be a little cameo at the end of this section from another Joy Masher enemy, which you may have seen if you have played another Joy Masher game called Oniken.
Where this section out. Oh, sorry.
No, you carry on. Carry on.
I was going to say, this section always reminded me of Mega Man 8, actually.
Zip,
with
zip,
that jump, jump, slide, slide. Jump, jump, slide, slide. If you know, right. You know.
Okay. And now taking on the Snowplow. Snowplow can be a bit of a pain in the neck, because unless you are using the pulse rifle, then you can only hit it by aiming above its bucket, for lack of a better term, because the pulse rifle, of course, can go through environments. That also counts to enemy shields. So if you don't have the pulse rifle for this stage, it slows it down so much. So the fact that Kirthar does have that pulse rifle here is very, very good news.
Yeah, that was a pretty clean segment there.
Mm-hmm. It's looking pretty good so far. Very good time. How are you feeling, Kirth?
I'm feeling alright.
He feels alive.
We like all right. Yeah, pick up the speed bot to allow him to do a couple of double jumps. Here we go. And here comes... It's a robot bear! Oh, perfect shot there. Sniped him out of the air just to do the last bit of damage that he needed to. Destroyed him before he encountered any more environments. And here we go. Little Contra reference there. Like the game isn't already one massive Contra reference. But here we go. So Kirth is now going to be running and dashing, avoiding enemies where he can. He's got to be careful of these spikes. Weirdly enough, spikes are one-hit that kills, and spikes are bad for your health.
Yeah.
He's going to land Kobe into the mech. Now, we've actually seen a couple of mechs in this game already, but Kirthar hasn't taken them. This is the one that's kind of necessary for the run because it can do a few dashes, got a lovely big powerful laser, but he's going to drop the mech just before he comes into this boss as well. Now, this boss has a bit of a bug. I say bug, it might be a feature. Who knows? Depends on your perspective. But it's going to fire a laser directly down at you. However, if you stay perfectly still, do not move left, do not move right, do not pass go, do not collect $200, you don't get damage. He's being shot by a laser, not receiving any damage whatsoever. So it basically means that the laser doesn't have any horizontal hit detection. So, sorry, it doesn't have any vertical hit detection, excuse me. It's got horizontal hit detection, so you've got to be careful where you're standing. Great little roll there. Using the double jump very, very well. Get absolutely tearing through that section. Oh my good graciousness.
That is the hardest section of platforming in the game, in my opinion.
Just because everything's moving so quickly, and you've got to be really careful with the enemies. Yeah, you've got to be careful with the enemies.
That's very tight movement for him to be able to get out of that without getting touched.
Cool. We're going to see a new strat now. We're going to try and kill those little things on the top of the screen as quickly as we can, multiple times. So he's got them very, very quickly killed with the grenade. That's kind of the main use of the grenade, really. And he's killed that really quick. That's unbelievable. A couple of enemies coming from off the screen. Let's see if we can get the quick kill.
Yeah, that grenade strat was fun this week, actually. Pretty cool.
Kirthar special. So let's see if we can get this quick kill on the big old bloopy boss. Shoot him down. And he gets a quick kill with a last frame hit. Beautiful.
That was awesome, man.
Amazing stuff. Sub 19 going into the final stage of the game. Amazing work. That's so good. That's so good. And just nice. This is a brutally good run so far. So we're now coming up onto the last section of the game. He's going to change his bot to a defense bot so we can damage boost on a boss in a few moments' time. Now we're going to see the main bit of RNG in this game. This is Armadillo. This is RNG hell because his movement is completely random.
So he's going to be a bit of a pain. He was very friendly today, though.
Yeah,
he was pretty friendly.
Yeah, and now we have Gorilla. Gorilla is easily manipulatable. He's going to jump. You just roll underneath, try not to take damage where you can. Shoot him enough times he doesn't get to throw the grenade, and then you can just roll through. And there is an extra life hidden in this section. If he shoots the thing at the top there, is he going to shoot it? No, he's not going to shoot it. That's fine. So now, again, very similar to the boss of Mission 2. Yep, Mission 2. He's going to stand here and do a damage boost so he can kill the boss as quickly as he can. There we go. That boss has gone down very, very quick. Right now, on to its next stage, he's either going to duck or roll through some of these attacks. He got to duck on both of them, which meant that he didn't lose any hits. And now we're on Zet's final form. So this is going to come in a couple of different ways. He's going to just shoot him so he doesn't hit that phase. That's incredible. Wow, Kirthar, that's a bit quick. Slow down, please.
Yeah, holy.
So now he's going to shoot out these diamond cubes, and now we're going to go into cyberspace.
Ooh, that's fast.
Yeah. So this is a section of the game that was custom written in the Game Maker engine as the game was developed in. Yuri Nevi, what an incredible developer that guy is. Big shout out to Yuri. What incredible artwork this game has. Big shout outs to Danilo Diaz. Yeah, Danilo is a strange chap, but wonderful nonetheless.
I love Danilo.
And music in this game, Dominic Nimmark, is fantastic as well. And I believe that a couple of years ago, you ran this game with Dominic on the couch with you, Kirth. Is that correct?
That is correct. And he's actually here too.
Hi, Dom! Woo!
Oh, you're actually behind me.
Yeah. We've got celebrities on the stream. But yeah, so just a great all-round bunch of people making this game and making it all possible. Joy Masher have got hopefully a new game coming out very, very soon. That's right, Danilo, very soon. You heard me.
Yeah, that's right.
Called Moon Rider. That's essentially Strider and Shinobi. So taking very similar moves from this game, being a very much a Contra.
It's not about riding on the moon,
isn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure.
It might
I mean,
be.
we haven't seen much of the game.
I don't know.
We haven't seen much of the game yet, but we want it.
Wish
we
I
want
knew.
it desperately. So you did see Kirthar, as we have seemed to have forgotten that in the game. Again, stop doing that roll, Kirthar. You're going to give me another coronary.
Swag roll. Do another one. Swag roll. Swag
no!
roll. Yeah. Swag roll.
No!
Yeah.
So where were we? Yeah, so at the end of these cyber sections, you're going to
Swag
first
roll.
off... really,
that's
Kirth,
the hard
really? You see that you're actually going to be taking on digital versions of the game's characters. So he's taking on the gun character nice and quickly, who he destroyed without any issues. Now he's going to be taking on a ninja character. He's going to try and manipulate their positioning so he can just shoot and shoot and shoot and get to the end of this. If this rolls up as sub 22, I'm going to be very happy.
See, they didn't even need to shoot.
And the boss came down really quick. He's going to be just over 22, like a 22 and 2 or something.
And
that's pretty good, though. That's really, really good.
Oh my word. What a great run that was. Kirthar, that's amazing stuff.
That's awesome.
GG's, my friend.
And I think that might be the fastest Blazing Chrome run at a marathon also.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that was really good. I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I guess we'll do shoutouts. I guess I'll do shout out to the entire Joey Master speedrun community. We recently mashed together all the speedrun communities for all the Joey Master games, like with Alice and Oniken and Blazing Chrome into one, and yeah, a lot of smaller communities became a slightly smaller community, I guess. And yeah, thank you to my commentators, of course, for handling the commentary. As you can imagine, this is kind of hard to talk while playing. So thank you very much, Polking and Jimmy. And yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/Kirthar. You can see the spelling under me. I usually speedrun Cuphead, but I pick this up from time to time too. Yeah, that's all I had. Do you guys want to say anything?
Pick this up from time to time. World record the other day. Pick it up. Yeah, of course.
Undersell that
Effortless.
a little.
Effortless. And just to double check on that one, Kirth, we are looking at just one death in that run. Just the one death. So we'll leave that in your hands. Let's not put you under peer pressure to donate more. So, yes, again, thank you very much for having me. It's always a blast to be able to kind of commentate this game. It is one of my early speedrun loves. And it's certainly a lovely community that we've been able to foster around this game. So, yeah, thank you ever so much, ESA, for having me. Kirthar for asking for me to do commentaries for this one. Polo, always a pleasure having you on the other side. League of Nations represents exactly what we are here for. We've got a Canadian, we've got a Brit, and we've got a Swede. It's a great combination. And if you want to find my stuff, I'm at twitch.tv/Jimmy_Diamonds. That's the second time I've ever done a shout out for myself on one of these things, and it feels weird regardless. Polo, over to you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can find me at Polo King DX on Twitch. And yeah, you know, we usually play Blazing Chrome if we're on there, and maybe some other stuff sometimes. And yeah, thank you, ESA, for having me. Thank you, Kirthar, for having me. It's always a pleasure to, you know, get the team together. And yeah, this was awesome. Thank you.